Jared checking in here for you. A lot of people have been asking me about my ab routine and how to strengthen their abs, how you get abs. So this is a video I've been wanting to make for you guys for a while because there's a couple of things I really need to clear up. I think there's a lot of misconception out there. This is the routine that I go through a couple times a week when I'm not using stuff in the gym. So I wanted to show you this because you can do it at home, you can do it wherever you're at. You won't need any equipment for this, okay? A couple things to note. When you train your abs, you're strengthening your abs just like any other muscle group, and you're building those muscles. But with your abs, that's not necessarily how you're gonna be able to see your abs, okay? You have to have a low enough body fat percentage for guys, into the 10s and 8s, 7s, and down in the lower digit body fat percentages, and for the women, into the 14s, into the 12s, stuff like that. So I think there's kind of a misconception that you do crunches to get abs. No, everyone has abs. You just have to have a low enough body fat percentage in order to see them, okay? But this is a great routine to train your abs, okay? Okay, so the first one I'm gonna show you, the first one I always start with, is just like a standard leg raise. So I just put my hand under my butt a little bit, and I start down with my legs like this. You can keep them straight, you can keep slightly bent, whatever works for you. The main thing is, guys, when you're doing these, you have to keep constant tension on your abs. And I see people just doing this, flying all over the place like an idiot. That's not how you're gonna work your abs. So you wanna squeeze it at the top, keep them nice and tight, squeeze it at the top. Take your time on these. It's about quality reps. It's not about how many you do. Just to get 20 reps, if you're just throwing your legs around, you're gonna be working your hip flexors more than your abs, okay? So nice, slow, controlled, and I do about 15 to 20 to start, okay? From those, I normally go straight into bicycles, but I kind of do a little bit of a variation on bicycles. So instead of just doing these real quick like that, I like to get really low with my foot and come up and crunch and hold it a little bit. And then come back to the other side and come up and crunch and hold it a little bit. Always staying nice and controlled and keeping my abs flexed the whole time. Just from doing a couple of these, it already hurts. And so each one of those, one revolution will be one, right? I do 15 to 20 depending on how I feel. From that, I throw one leg up on my hip here, and I go up to the side. Just same thing. Even when I come down, just keeping constant tension on your abs. From there, I like to do the penguin, which is a fun one to do, switch things up. And so I kind of switch from lower abs to side abs, and then I hit my obliques to give my abs a little bit of a rest. Penguins, all you're doing is putting your legs on the ground or your feet on the ground, keeping in a crunch position and just reaching over each side. And again, I see people doing these like this, flying all over the place. Just keep them nice and slow and controlled. And squeeze down on your obliques. And it's fine to touch the muscle so you can get that muscle-mind connection so that make sure that you're doing them correctly. And another thing is too, if you want to crunch up a little bit, you can engage your abs on these too while you're trying to squeeze over. All right, another one, this is probably my favorite, my personal favorite. A lot of these names, guys, I'm just making up, I don't know what the hell this shit's called. This one I call figure eights. So you start off with your legs up in the air and you dip them down, and then you come around to one side, and then they come all the way up to the center and dip back down, and then do the other side. These are awesome because they're really hitting every single part of your core. And they can be made easier or harder based on how far down you come. So if you come up a little bit higher, it's not quite as much tension, if you don't go down as far. And then if you come down really far, Then you're getting all the way down around in this area here and coming all the way back up. And again. So 15, maybe even 12 of those, whatever you can handle. Now, from these we'll hit the side. These are a little bit more advanced as well, I would say. There's two versions of this. One way is if you just want to kind of roll your foot over and just squeeze up to hit your obliques here. It's a really small motion. It doesn't really, like if you don't squeeze your obliques on this, it's not going to do anything. So you really want to make sure you're squeezing your obliques on this. And if this is too easy for you, what you can do is put your feet up like this, and you can crunch up like this. Now, here's a tip on these. If you're sitting too far forward, you're not gonna be able to crunch up. You kind of have to sit like in the hip of your butt there, so you're almost angled up a little bit, so you actually have enough like power to pull up your stomach on that one, okay? And then obviously you can do those on both sides. Position here. Lift your legs a little bit off the ground. Bring your arms out. And you crunch in and then crunch out. You want to do like, again, 12 to 15, maybe 20. This is another one of my favorites. So you can do this straight after the crunchy frog because it's the same position. Just hold your hands up. You can hold your hands however you want to do it. I see a lot of people just kind of like touching the ground, that's fine. Or holding your hands up here. I like to hold them here because I want my whole body to be twisting. That's how you're actually getting the activation on the abs. And these, you can do a bunch. 20, 30, 40, however many you want to do. Oh my God, we're going to finish off. Is it plank?
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Look at your abs. I'm like trying to gain weight right now for nationals, so this is not as shredded as I normally am. This is about as fat as I've been in a long time. But you can see different abs. Your six pack, your upper lower, your obliques on the side there, and then your serratus up here. When you get them all together, they look really cool. That's how you get that. It's kind of like superhero action.